The boys were back at it at the historic Nashville Fairgrounds. Stephen Lawrence got his first pole of the year. Let's see how things unfolded. Only on lap 4, and we already have a huge wreck. Brandon Kennedy goes for a wild ride down the backstretch. Gets hit by the 31 and goes up and over. On board James Garrett as he tries to get through it. Really nothing he can do in this situation though. But you just got to feel for Kennedy. His day was basically over before it started. He was okay though. Lap 42, first battle for the lead. Colin Eversley making a move on Stephen Lawrence. He did get the points lead back after 5 flags. As for the lead of the race though, that's going to have to wait. Well, the 4 car couldn't get it done. How about the 6? Jerry Clark looking sporty early. Using the lapped car as a pick, and he's moving into second. And shortly after, he did get to the front. We almost had another big wreck here. Where you going? Benjamin Vargas all the way down to the bottom, almost hits the wall, and now we're 4 wide into 3. I don't know how they all made it. Lap 62, Jerry Clark still in the lead, working around some lap traffic. And oh, who's that? There goes Brett Fisher to the outside, new leader. Great move. A few laps later, going into turn 1, Rich Peterson dumps the 15. Wilson manages to keep it off the wall, but that is our second caution of the day. Interesting strategy move here. You see the 4 is staying out, the 01 and 6 come in. They were saying fuel should have been fine, but they wanted those tires. This is on the restart. You can see just how hectic it is in the back of the field. Crazy racing going on. Lap 76, just another typical day for Tim Eichner. He goes around, the 39 gets another one, and we are quickly back under yellow. On the next restart, Frankie Lundqvist gets turned, and he was already heavily damaged from the first wreck. Sometimes it's just not your day. Getting into the later stages of the race, and this is a cluster if I've ever seen one. Lap cars mixed with lead lap cars. I'm not sure who's where, but they managed to escape incident. Pivotal moment here. The 01 looking under the 4 for the lead, and we have another wreck on the backstretch. That's going to bring out the yellow. The race to the line, it's going to be a drag race. Eversley has it, but it's not over. We're going to re-rack him and try it again. Inside 20 to go. Here comes Jet Beckham. He pitted on the lap 68 caution. And remember, the 4 is still on the tires he started the race with, and I think it's starting to bite him right about now. Fisher and Lawrence still right in the mix too. This is good stuff. And like I mentioned, it does look like the Sonic by Eversley is starting to fade in the final laps. He's just trying to salvage all he can. It won't be a win, but it was still a good effort. But finally, with all the success he had this year, it is surprising to believe that this is Jet Beckham's first win of the year. He brings it home in Nashville and gets a nice guitar. Up next, race number 8 from IRP, Indianapolis Raceway Park. Jet Beckham picking up right where he left off, getting his 4th pole of the season. Didn't take long though for Taka Kojima to go for the lead. Lap 12, making a move on the inside. He has 3 top 5s and 5 top 10s, but no wins yet. Actually only led 1 lap up until this point. Beckham didn't fire off too well, complaining of some handling issues early on. Here he is falling outside the top 5. Teammates going at it here. Matt Dixon started 3rd. He's already falling back to 16th. Meanwhile, Shannon Reynolds has had a pretty respectable rookie campaign with 1 top 10. Lap 45, did someone order some pastrami? Because we got a sandwich on the front stretch. Ernie Pryor gets squeezed and it's on from there. Matt Dixon piles in hard. Colin Eversley is in it. Multiple cars with damage. And this probably hurts the 4 team the most because Eversley loses the points lead after this. You see how consistent he's been all year. Not the way he wanted to end that one. He finished 35th. So after they cleaned up all the debris at the end of pit road, everyone wanted in. Kojima leads them down behind the smoldering Benjamin Vargas. Next caution, lap 55, Ian Abernathy gets turned around in a little skirmish off of turn 4. No real harm done on that one. Quite a bit of harm done on this one though. Our 3rd caution of the day is the big one. Leighton Mitchell and the 63 get tangled off of turn 2, and it didn't look like it was going to be anything too severe until the 63 bounced off the inside wall and back up into traffic. So many cars torn up in this one. Definitely one of the biggest wrecks we've had all season. On board Jerry Clark, and you can see he was kind of into the 01 as everything else was happening in front. Just too many cars in too little space. And you see it right there. We counted about 12 cars in that one. Definitely one of those short track kind of nights. The McRib is back, and so is Randy Copeland, making a move for the lead here on lap 80. Inside of Kojima into turn 3. And we have another wreck. Just like Nashville, we have a great battle getting spoiled by a caution. Frankie Lundqvist goes around with the one of Brandon Kennedy. Copeland does just barely snag the lead, though. Just to highlight a few drivers that were having a good run out there. One of them was Trent Strickland, back to 18th at this point, but he was inside the top 10 for a while. He got the short end of the stick with some lap traffic here, but it was fun while it lasted. Kenny Fitzpatrick doing a nice job in that underfunded 83. Looking for a sponsor for this one, but he's up to 13th. Most impressive, though, is probably Luke Benson, going for second here on the 45. That's actually his teammate, and he ended up finishing 6th. About 10 laps to go, Robbie Vaughn slows on the front stretch. He has a clutch problem. Race Control tried to hold off throwing the caution to see if he could get going again, but he could not. They wasted a few laps, and it's going to actually end under caution. The fans were not too happy, but I tell you one guy that was, Randy Copeland. He gets his first win of the year, and that jumped him up into the top 10 in points. Heading out west for the first of 3 races, this is Portland International Raceway, the 12-turn road course, and Stephen Lawrence got his second pole of the year. The first side-by-side battle at the end of lap 1 was between Walter Hansen and Luke Benson as they raced down the backstretch. It's a very flat track, but I rode in the pace car before the race, and some of the turns are really nice and flowing. There were actually no cautions in this race, but the start of lap 2 saw some excitement. The 76 gets run into by, yes, I do believe that is Jerry Clark. Fortunately, he is able to continue. That chicane is really tough to judge your braking zone. You can see on board Ashton Green, the 3rd generation driver. When they're all nose to tail like that, it's just so hard to see what's going on up there. And he plows right into the back of the 50. Coming to lap 12, we have a lead change. The hottest driver on the circuit right now, Jet Beckham, passing Stephen Lawrence. He started 4th, but just quietly worked his way up, and he's going to make that look easy. Skipping ahead to lap 23, I think I need a break from talking. You're probably tired of hearing me, so reach up, grab that volume knob, and crank it up. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. We're on the final lap now, and Jerry Clark, say what you want about him this year. I know he hasn't been the most popular, but he's making a move for 3rd after starting 34th. And then a few turns later, making the move for 2nd. All under green, too, mind you. Very impressive. He's been needing to turn that luck around, and this might have been the place to do it. But no one was catching this guy. Jet Beckham wins by a whopping 16 seconds.
Heck yeah, boys, that's what I'm talking about. You keep putting shit out there like that, we're going to win a lot more of these, I tell you what. Hey, Cougar, make sure we got enough beer there in the cooler when we get down there. We're going to be slamming some.
So there you have it. Jet Beckham wins 2 out of the 3 races in this video. There was plenty of action at the short tracks at least. And up next, we're going to the Valley of the Sun. No, not that one. We're going to Canada. Sun Valley Speedway. See you there.